to introduce his bill is basically seeking leave. It is not passing the bill.
I want to thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. But before I move my motion, I want to bring special greetings from the people of Mityana to the people of the Greater North. Madam Speaker, the constituency I'm representing today was once represented by a person from northern Uganda called Ocheng. And that is the reason why there is Ocheng zone in Nansana. So we have very great attachment with the people of northern Uganda in Mityana and Mityana district. My motion, Madam Speaker, is seeking leave of the House to introduce a private member's bill entitled the Administration of Parliament Amendment Bill, moved under Rule 56, 121, 122 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament. Whereas Article 76 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, 1995, empowers Parliament to make laws on any matter of the peace, order, development, and good governance of Uganda. And whereas Article 94(4)(b) of the Constitution and Rules 121 and 122 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament permits a Member of Parliament to move a private member's bill. Aware that Article 82A of the Constitution and Section 7 of the Administration of Parliament Act Cap 272 provide for a leader of the opposition in Parliament under multi-party organizations. Noting that Section 8 of the Administration of Parliament Act, Cap 272, provides for the election of leader of the opposition by the party in opposition to the government having the greatest numerical strength in Parliament. Further noting that Section 15 of the Administration of Parliament Act, Cap 272, provides for the appointment of Chief Opposition Whip by the party in opposition to the government having the greatest numerical strength in Parliament. Concerned that the manner of election of leader of the opposition in Parliament excludes other opposition political parties represented in Parliament, yet a leader of the opposition pretends all members of opposition in Parliament and appoints shadow cabinet members from members of the opposition of Parliament. Further concerned that the current legal framework does not permit the participation of members of opposition in Parliament in their governance through the election of their leader, the leader of the opposition, or the chief opposition whip, and as a result, it is important for members of the opposition in Parliament to hold a leader of the opposition or a chief whip accountable. Cognizant of the need to entrench democratic principles in electing a leader of the opposition in Parliament and chief opposition whip as representative of all members of opposition in Parliament. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Parliament grants me leave, Madam Speaker, I pray, Madam Speaker, to introduce a private member's bill entitled the Administration of Parliament Amendment Bill, a draft which is attached here to my motion. So I pray.
Thank you. Do you want to justify your motion?
Yes, Madam Speaker, thank you very much. Madam Speaker, election is the epitome of democracy. Madam Speaker, even the Pope welcomed from the Holy See. As Catholics, I'm a Catholic. There is an election of the Pope, the highest and respected leader in the world. If there is an election there must be an election here. We are in the opposition, Madam Speaker. When we are elected, we came here. By that time, you were not the Speaker. We also elected you, Madam Speaker. The very reason why you are sitting in that seat. We also elect the President. Every 5 years, there is election in Uganda. Therefore, there is no reason when we come to Parliament as members of the opposition, we don't elect our leader, who is the leader of opposition. I want to pray before you, members of Parliament, that it is important that the pillar of democracy, which is election, should actually be done by us, the opposition, who are actually about to take power. So I thank you very much, Madam Speaker. The justification is just clear and right on the wall. We need an election clear in the opposition. Other than that,
there's an order.
Madam Speaker, I feel very sad to put my very, very good friend, Honorable Lemu, on order. Madam Speaker, when you look at the practice and the framers and those who enacted the Parliamentary Act, as it stands now, there are issues embedded as to why the current arrangement in Parliament is working appropriately. Because when you look at the entire structure of the Parliament, we have not had even a situation, for example, in Uganda, where the ruling government elects their chief whips, where we have the prime ministers being elected, or the ministers even being elected. So this motion is trying to present to us, the members of Parliament, is actually very dangerous. So is he in order? Is the mover of the motion in order to even seek leave to do the obvious, which is actually the best practice ever done in Uganda, done in East Africa, done elsewhere, to amend the Parliamentary Act? Is he in order?
Honourable members, the Administration of Parliament Act, the section that is quoting is not entrenched. And the honourable member is just seeking leave. The best we can do, if we are not in agreement with what the honourable member is saying, we follow this to the committee and fail it at the committee, or fail it in the House when it comes for the second reading. But we do not have the mandate to deny a member to seek leave. Attorney General, can we hear from the Attorney General? Attorney General.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, Article 82A of the Constitution provides for the office of the Leader of Opposition. It says that under a multi-party organization, under the multi-organization or party form of democracy, there shall be in Parliament a leader of the opposition. Clause 2 says Parliament shall, by law, prescribe the following in respect of the leader of opposition. A, how he or she is chosen. And I believe Honorable Rumu's motion is on the basis of that. I beg to submit.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, honorable members.
I continue. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I don't know what would be the problem if there is an election in opposition. There is no problem at all, and my brother would not be scared at this time. Now, defects in the existing legislation is what I want to talk about and stop there. Madam Speaker, in July 2005, Uganda transited from the movement political system to a multi-party political system through a national referenda. The adoption of the multi-party system of governance saw the amendment of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda to create the office of the opposition in Parliament, and subsequently, in 2006, the amendment of the Administration of Parliament Act, Cap 272, to provide for the office of the leader of the opposition was enacted. Section 8 of the Administration of Parliament Act, Cap 272, provides for the election of the opposition, the leader of the opposition, by the party in opposition to the government, having the greatest numerical strength in Parliament. The rules also say, Madam Speaker, that other parties should be consulted. Madam Speaker, my party has never been consulted on that. Whenever there is a new or the other leader of opposition. Section 15 of the Administration of Parliament Act, Cap 272, provides for the appointment of the chief whip by the party in opposition to the government, having the greatest numerical strength in Parliament. This is another leader, Madam Speaker, who is very important on the opposition, who also is not elected. My argument and my prayer is that all those must be elected. I don't want to continue. I want to stop there. But I pray that leave is granted. I thank you.
Seconda.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable colleagues, for record, I am Salongo Kakembo Mikaili Mboa Tekamwa. I represent the people of Entebbe.
Yes, Honorable Nekalit, procedure.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, this is a special regional sitting and the first of its kind in the history of Uganda. And the regional sitting began from northern region. And as such, Right Honorable Speaker, I would really request that it remain a special sitting for northern region. Right Honorable Speaker, I see vividly passionate fights being embedded in the spirit which is well deserving, much well-arranged sitting, very peaceful. I would love us to proceed in that same spirit of a special sitting. This motion can be raised when we are back at Parliament, not at regional level. Right, Honorable Speaker? Is it really procedurally right for us to proceed in this manner, to bring personal vendetta in a special regional sitting? I submit.
Honorable Gwang.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. While I appreciate the concern my colleague has raised, Madam Speaker, is it in order for a member to initiate and to begin to think the regional sitting is not a sitting of Parliament? Is it in order to deny members to participate in the deliberations which are prescribed in line with the order paper of the day? Is it in order?
Honorable members, much as we are sitting in a Golo, this is a normal sitting. And being a normal sitting, and as I said, let's not act in anticipation. There is no fight. The law is not made for one person. Today, I am a leader of opposition. Tomorrow, another person will be a leader and whatever. But I don't see any fight in this thing. And you can reject when it comes to the second reading. We should not deny a member his right, which is enshrined in the Constitution. Yes, a brief one.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Sarah Opendi, please sit. Please sit. Let's first hear from the seconder.
Right Honorable Speaker, you have guided well, and I want to thank you. Right Honorable Speaker, before I give my small remarks, allow me to convey greetings from the people of Entebbe. And one of whom
Honorable members, we need to move faster so that we adopt the report of agriculture.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
I mean of infrastructure.
Right Honorable Speaker, you have just told us that one of my voter, my resident, is joining us in an hour. Allow me to convey the greetings of the people of Entebbe. In Entebbe, we are cosmopolitan, and we have quite a number of people from the greater north, and I bring greetings to them, and I'm here to represent my people of Entebbe who elected me. I want to say this, that I do not have any personal vendetta. In as far as this motion is concerned, I am convinced beyond reasonable doubt, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, that this move is going to give us more unity as the opposition and respect for each other. Let us vote for our leaders. What's wrong with that? I am standing here to second this motion, Right Honorable Speaker, in good faith. It will help us, it will build us more, because unity of the opposition means strength of the opposition. Respect for each other means what? Because I must participate in electing my leader as the opposition. We have seen it many times in Parliament, where the leader of opposition thinks that all opposition belongs to his party. In this case, it used to be FDC, and all the opposition would see ourselves as FDC, and yet not. You see, because we did not participate in electing the leader of opposition. Now we are seeing a national unity platform. Tomorrow it will be another party.
Honorable Mbora, we didn't behave like that. I was in FDC.
Yes, I want to thank you that you did not, but I am getting so scared that I see the opposition in court as if it is only one party. So I want to bring each and everyone on board through this, that come, vote your leader. He will respect you, you will respect him, we shall not have any fight, he will unite us, and by that, it will make us more stronger in the Parliament of Uganda.
Thank you.
I beg you to move right.
Thank you. Honorable members, I now put a question that Honorable Lumu be granted leave to introduce a private member's bill, the Administration of Parliament Amendment Bill 2024. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it. Pursuant to Rule 121234 of the rules of the procedure, the clerk is hereby instructed to accord the member a requisite support to ensure that the bill is tabled for the first reading. Next item.
Item number 42, motion seeking leave of Parliament to introduce a private member's bill, the National Transitional Justice Bill 2024.
Further name, the National Transitional Justice Bill. This is one of the bills that came as a petition from the people of Northern region, but I am also aware that the government also has the same bill. So Father Nen can be granted permission and he works together with the government in processing the bill.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for granting me this opportunity to move a private member's bill entitled the National Transitional Justice System, moved under Articles 79 and 94 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda and Rule 120 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament. Whereas Article 79 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda empowers Parliament to make laws on any matter for the peace, order, development, and good governance of Uganda. And whereas Article 94 4B of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda and Rule 121.1 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament permit a member of Parliament to introduce a private member's bill. And whereas Objective 3 of the National Objectives and Directive Principles of State Policy of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda enjoins all organs of state and people of Uganda to work towards the promotion of national unity, peace and stability, and the state to establish and nurture institutions and procedures for the resolution of conflicts fairly and peacefully. Aware that since gaining independence in 1962, Uganda has experienced cycles of violence, political instability, and gross human rights violations, especially during the brutal regimes of Idi Amin and Milton Obote, and during the protracted LRA insurgency in northern Uganda, among other conflicts. Further aware that the different episodes of political instability have left deep scars on the nation's fabric, arising from the severe violence that has claimed countless lives in form of extrajudicial killings, forced disappearances, loss of property, and torture, perpetuating a legacy of fear, mistrust, and impunity. Recognizing Uganda's history of political instability, conflict, and human rights violation, including episodes of violence, ethnic strife, and authoritarian governance. Recognizing that the national resistance movement government has made tremendous effort towards resolution of conflict and maintenance of peace and security within the country through attempts such as the Juba Peace Talks, the establishment of the International Crimes Division of the High Court, and the development of the Transitional Justice Policy of 2019. Further recognizing that the efforts of government to foster peaceful reconciliation in the country have been immense. However, there is still need to address the historical wrongs through measures that will embrace accountability, truth, reconciliation, reparation, institutional and legal reforms. Acknowledging the need to heal the wounds of the past and establish accountability for past injustices and build a foundation for lasting peace, justice, and reconciliation. Affirming Uganda's commitment to international human rights standards and the rule of law as enshrined in the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda and international agreements to which Uganda is a party. Convinced that there is need to enact a transitional justice law to operationalize the National Transitional Justice Policy and to address all facets of transitional justice and ensuring accountability, truth-telling, reparations, and reconciliation. Now, therefore, be it resolved by Parliament that this House grants me leave to introduce a private member's bill to provide for transitional justice, and a draft of which is hereto attached, and I will lay it on table.
Thank you.
Do order the publication of the said bill in preparation for its first reading. I beg to move.
Thank you. Seconded. Who is the seconder? Minister of Northern Region, Honorable Chan, and Prime Minister Ivan Ntoroko Nakut, Gabriel Lagen, Tubo, Bunyoro Affairs, Labor, Honorable Nyakun, Honorable Dr. Kaduchu, and Aroboy, Honorable Ichwero, Honorable Guang. A problem here, all of I have seen Jane there. I have seen Momba. I have seen. That's why it is good, Achia. That's why it is good to sit in our house, because you're not far. I've seen Honorable Baka. I've seen Honorable Court, Honorable Pipi. Is that Pipi? Pipi. I've seen Emmanuel Kelly. I've seen Noya. Yes, I've seen Noya. It is seconded. I've seen Alec. I've seen Tom Bright. I've seen Okirore. I've also seen Basil. And next to Basil, Dr. Boka. Yes, would you just file your bill?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Enactment of a national transitional justice law represents a significant opportunity for Uganda to have an holistic approach to confront its past and build a future grounded in justice, peace, and reconciliation. I therefore urge you and all the members of Parliament and ministers that we use our esteemed offices to advance this critical legislation. This law was badly needed yesterday, but better late than never. Since independence, as I stated in the motion, since 1962, our country has experienced cycles of violence and political instability and gross human rights violations, especially it mentioned during the regimes of Idi Amin and Milton Obote, and worst of it all, during the protracted LWA insurgency in northern Uganda, among other conflicts. So the different episodes of political instability have left deep scars and trauma on the nation. And there is a severe, and most of those who lost their lives actually have never been heard, and justice have never been given them. Right Honorable Speaker, a couple of weeks ago, the ICC convicted an LRA rebel commander, Dominic Ongwen. And the victims of Dominic Ongwen are going to be compensated by the ICC. A few days ago in Gulu, another LRA commander, Koyelo, was convicted by Ugandan court. But his victims are not going to be compensated. A big contradiction. We need this law so that victims of violence in the future may have opportunity to be compensated, to be listened to, and this cycle of violence to end in this country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Father Nen, Attorney General. Please lay.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And thank you to my senior colleague, Father Nen. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, together with the Ministry of Internal Affairs, have worked on the National Transitional Justice Bill. We have prepared the policy which we presented to Cabinet. We also prepared the principles of the bill. When the principles were presented to Cabinet, there were a few things we agreed to correct, and we returned them to the Ministry of Internal Affairs. And they have just been in touch with the Minister. I'm made to understand they will be ready in 3 weeks' time. Then they will be taken back to Cabinet for approval. Then we can come to Parliament. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, this means that ideally the bill should be in Parliament in the next 2 to 3 months. So the ideal thing to do, without necessarily objecting to Father Nen's proposal because it may be carrying very good issues, he could wait. Once we go to the committee, we can consider his proposals and embed them with those of the executive and have one good law. Thank you.
Honorable Buru.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity. And I want to thank Father Onen. But, Right Honourable Speaker, if you so wish, you could allow Father Onen to further explain the gap in the current legal framework in as far as transitional justice is, because I am failing to comprehend, and I think many other people could be following suit, where there's a gap. Why is he calling for a law? Can't the current law suffice? Right Honourable Speaker, I beg that Father Onen explains to us what is it that is lacking in the current legal framework. I thank you.
Honorable Avur, even Cabinet wants, meaning that it is something that is wanted by both Cabinet and Father Nen. So there wouldn't be need. The best we can do is to make sure that we attend the committee and understand what it is. Honorable Remigio.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this bill, the Transitional Justice Bill, is actually very critical. And our President has been talking about why do we ignore our traditional justice systems? Why do we ignore those traditional justice systems that work like Matoput? We need, this bill will help us to bring those cultures that are positive, that are in consonance with the Constitution, so that the burden of backlog in courts of Uganda are resolved. The issue of bargaining and the visibility of the victims as provided, as it is always in our traditional justice systems, that the victim participates in the resolution of conflict, because our people, our African tradition is that when there is a conflict, you must make good for that conflict. You must restore justice, because you are going to stay with your neighbor. The foundation of this bill is on restorative justice.
Thank you.
In the case of Karamoja, this bill is long overdue, because in Karamoja, we are disposing thousands of cases in the villages without even the need of the courts. That's why some of the courts in Moroto are redundant. I need this bill, the people of Uganda need this bill, the people of Karamoja need this bill. I support it.
Government, Attorney General, we could allow the private member to bring his bill and you take it over when yours is ready. Just like we did with the sports bill. The private member introduced, and when government was ready, it took over, but they worked together in the bill.
Right, Honourable
And you
Speaker.
know, these private members help in checking executive. When they bring their bills, that's when now you also work very hard to bring yours.
Right, Honourable Speaker, I do appreciate. But however, the procedure is such that once the bill comes, it will go to the committee. And the committee then calls for input from all other interested parties, including the private member. So allowing a private member bring a bill which government is already processing is just a double work, because he can present his views and the views of all other people before the committee. I have given timelines, Right Honourable Speaker, that within 3 months, if this bill is not presented,
3 months?
yes, Right Honourable Speaker. I said the principles will be ready within 3 weeks, and that within 3 months, we should already be in Parliament, because we have to prepare the bill, bring it for first reading, and then appear before the committee. If we do not do that within 3 months, Right Honourable Speaker, the private member can be allowed to proceed. I beg to submit.
Nakut?
Madam Speaker, everyone has said that this bill is long overdue. And the minister says that they have been working on it. If indeed they have been working on it, why then would he need 3 months? If indeed they have been working on it, then they can use 2 weeks to harmonize and introduce the bill. I submit, Madam Speaker, that this bill should get the attention that it deserves.
Thank you. Dan? Then Richard?
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, while I hear the plea of my senior, the Honourable Minister, this matter ought to have happened on average 10 years back for this law to have come up. And now that he gives us 3 months, and he has a volunteer who can do it in 1 month, I would beg that I would beg that the Honourable Minister, like NRM encourages volunteers, in a spirit of NRM, he takes it in, and you allow the bill to proceed. We shall be with him in Parliament, where he wants to have the input. We shall all listen and wait for his input. But Right Honourable Speaker, I would beg that the Minister concedes to allowing that the bill continues. Thank you
Thank
very much.
you. Thank you. Richard?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker and colleagues, I stand here to support my colleague, Honourable Nen. Madam Speaker, issues of transitional justice affect all of us. The communities we represent have suffered various cycles of violence, and this is an issue that we should have handled many years ago. While I agree with the minister that they are working on this bill, but the fact that a private member has come up is an indication that government has not done what they ought to have done. If the Minister of Justice is interested in this matter and the Minister of Internal Affairs, let's allow the member to bring his bill, and then they work at the pace of the private member. Right Honourable Speaker, we have seen many instances before when government has promised to bring a bill in 2-3 months, but it takes another 2-3 years. Right Honourable Speaker, we are in the 4th year of our term, and time is running. Tomorrow government will come with another excuse. Meanwhile, time is going and Honorable Nen will be caught up by time. By the time we know it, the term is ending. Remember, Honorable Speaker, the bill will not take 1 week with the committee. So I strongly support and plead with you, Madam Speaker, that we allow our colleague Honorable Nen to bring his bill, and then the government can come quickly to work with him.
Honorable members, I'm going to give government 1 month to come with their input on the bill. As for now, we are going to give Honorable Nen leave. Honorable members, I put the question that Honorable Nen be granted leave to introduce a private member's bill, the National Transitional Justice Bill 2024. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it. And pursuant to Rule 121, 2, 3, and 4 of the Rules of Procedure, the clerk is hereby instructed to accord the member all the requisite support to ensure the tabling of the bill for the first reading.
Item number 5, motion for adoption of the report of the Sectoral Committee on Physical Infrastructure on the state of transport infrastructure, roads, bridges, railways, and airfields in northern Uganda.
Honorable members, we stood over this item yesterday because we needed an addendum from Karamoja region, and I am reliably informed the addendum is ready. And could we have the addendum presented to form part of the report? Then we adopted the report with all the amendments that were captured yesterday. I just want to inform you that the President will be here in the next 30 minutes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to present the addendum as per the Karamoja region, the discussions related to the infrastructure report of yesterday. Karamoja region identified key roads that need to be included in the report as follows: Moroto Kotido Kabong Karenga Road, Soroti Amuria Abim Kotido Road, Nakapiriprit Amodat Alakas Road, that is rejoining to Kenya, Lokitanyela Loro Amodat Karita Road, Napak Kapelibiong, opening the region to Teso, the rehabilitation of Moroto Soroti Road, Moroto Nakiloro Nakabata Road, opening the region to Kenya, Kotido Loyoro Kabong, Kabong Timu Loitanit, opening the region again to Kenya, Kabong Timu no Kalapata na Wountos, Kalapata Pire, Karenga Bira, opening the region to South Sudan, Abim Napak via Turtuko is an internal road but very important, Kotido Abim Otuke Alebtong Lira. The region also considered the security and trade roads as very important, namely Kotido Agago, Kotido Karenga, Kotido Nakitongo, that is opening the eastern part of Kenya, Morunyang Majimoto, again the eastern part of Kenya, Nabilatu Katakwi, which is the Magoro Road, Kabong Karenga, Kabong Kitgum via Lolelia, Lopelepel, Lokwakipi Narengenya, that is a ring road around the mountain, Namalu Nabilatuk Lokapel, Lotome Koridai Nabual Magoro, that is to the Teso side, amudat komeri meri lokwanamur amuria alerek okemer road alerek kacheri karenga irir nabwal natirai. And the key bridges that we propose to be include Lotome Bridge, that is between Napak and Nabilatuk, Lolachat Bridge, that is between Nabilatuk and Moroto, the Lions Bridge, that is between Abim and Napak, that has been claiming many cars, Nakonyen Bridge between Moroto and Amudat, Okemer Bridge between Abim and Kotido, Nakirianget Bridge between Mbale and Nakapriprit, Lodoket and Ivigiria, that is between Kabong and Karenga, Koberio Bridge, that is between Kabong and Karenga again, Nata Bridges, that is between Nabilatuk and Moroto, Komadeniko Bridge between Moroto and Kotido, Napiananya between Nakapriprit and Mbale, Kochomin or Nachomin Bridge, that is between Amodat and Nabilatuk, Karita Bridge between Amodat and Kwen, the Dinga Bridge between Amodat and West Pokot, that is a part of Kenya, Nabokoton Bridge between Amodat and West Pokot, that is at the URA border point, and then Dopez Bridge between Kotido and Abim. In terms of the aerodromes, the region considered Nadungete Airfield in Moroto, that needs to be upgraded, Amodat Airstrip, Morulem Airstrip, that is in Abim, and Kotido Airstrip. So these are the addendum that the region considered to be included in the infrastructure report.
Thank you so much. Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister. Yes, Aro. Santa, are you from Aro? Yes, hold on. You wait for Aro.
Right Honorable Speaker, misinformation is disinformation. Right Honorable Speaker, yesterday, as the Committee for Infrastructure presented on the floor of this August House, it alluded to a fact that work was being undertaken on the Rwekunya, Apache, Lira, Acholibu, Plan Road. Right Honorable Speaker, this is not true to the fact that work is only taking place from Lira, Rwekunya, and ending in Poranga. There is no work as day moves on being taken from Poranga to Acholibu. Matter has it that the contract for works on Poranga to Acholibu was given to Rocco. Right Honorable Speaker, up to this day, Rocco has never set foot in Poranga. The people are mad. Just as we come to Northern Region today, Right Honorable Speaker, you allude to a fact that members who come to this sitting should be re-elected by their people. Right Honorable Speaker, if this road is not worked on, I'm scared. The simple Miko Makech Christopher, my people will have to vomit me. So is it procedure right that the same committee or the minister comes and articulates to the people of Pade why Poranga Acholibu Road is not being worked on and why the contractor has never stepped on the site of duty?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Santa, then the Honorable Minister. And honorable members, all the roads that you mentioned yesterday form part of the amendment to the report. All of them are captured. And whatever is being recorded is captured in the Hansard. So you don't need to repeat on the same road, like I know Santa is about to.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. As guided by you yesterday as part of the addendum, yesterday's report did not include a very important part of Great North Road, which is completely destroyed at Oriamapat Bridge. It was a presidential pledge, and I feel that this road should be captured as part of addendum and our recommendation, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. An amendment. I thought we did all the amendments yesterday, you people. Yes.
Thank you, the Right Honourable Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'm rising on two issues. One, Agago North County, we have the roads that link to Agago North County. One of them comes from Kitgum Konalau, Kitgum Matidi Wall, then Kalon, then it proceeds to Paimol. Then other roads come from Pade side, Pajule, Pade, then also Kalon. On the other hand, there's a road that comes from Paton, Oture Paton, then to Kalon. As I talk now, there's a big emergency. We are on Maram roads. There's been floods. All the roads have been cut off. And yet we have the only missionary hospital in Kalon, Dr. Ambruzoli Hospital, which is serving the catchment area from Abin, that side of Namokora, Pade. Everybody flocks to Kalon, Dr. Ambruzoli Hospital, to get services and medical services. In Agago North, L Center 3, including even Kalon Town Council, there is no L Center 3. Madam Speaker, I am presenting this so that if the House can deem it fit, so that we take it as an emergency on those roads. Minister of Works, UNRWA, should at least move there so that they can do some emergency work on that. Finally, Madam Speaker, on Karoma Bridge, when the site was given to the contractor, I was there.
You're talking about Karoma?
Karoma
Bridge.
was
exhaustively discussed yesterday.
The point I want to raise, Madam Speaker.
Please, can we hear from
the Minister? Madam Speaker.
Can we hear from the Minister?
Thank
we'll
you.
Talk about roads and we'll not get tired of roads. Isaac, you still have a road. Amendment to
Madam Speaker, you would have allowed
Madam
me
Speaker,
to say this on the...
Madam Speaker, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving me way. Madam Speaker, yesterday we exhaustively covered the issue of national bridges. But one amendment I wanted to bring out, which was not captured yesterday, was the position of the Ministry of Works, how they are going to help districts to fund those depleted bridges. Because we need goods to come from the villages to these national roads to be transported. The way some of these national bridges have lived their lifespan, the bridges in the districts have also overlived their lifespans.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Honorable Goli. Goli.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. I want just to mention one major bridge whom the later TAT was following up very seriously, and that bridge is called Amodo. It connects to the site where, a tourism site which we have allocated resources to develop, where Kabalega and Mwanga were arrested. I request we include Amodo Bridge.
Okot, Emmanuel. Honorable Feta, you talked yesterday. Honorable Napak, they have represented you. Okot.
Yeah, thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, much as a number of roads were captured, there are some few national roads that were left out. One of the critical ones is the one that comes from Alokolum, Alero to Konanoya. That one is a national road, which was not captured. The other one, which were not captured also, is the one that comes from Puran, Pajule, Acholibu, that was talked of. Another one is Minakulu, Lee, Kochgoma. These are national roads that needs to be captured in the addendum. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Emmanuel. Geoffrey.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. From yesterday, we are talking about several roads, and we know that the most important thing about these roads is the availability of funds. I'm not hearing anyone, including the ministers, talk about the road fund. We know for sure that for every liter of fuel taken, there is a tax which is supposed to accumulate into the road fund. Nobody is talking about that.
Emmanuel, the minister is here. Actually, you're taking a lot of his time.
I am not taking his time. For me, I am telling him whatever he has prepared, he should make sure that a mention is made of the road fund. And we should have a commitment that that road fund will go strictly to the issues of roads. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Godfrey Ozima.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
It's a procedure matter,
Madam Speaker.
And I know you have allowed me to speak.
Madam Speaker, I want to raise...
Let your senior just raise something, then you bring your procedure.
Madam Speaker, I want to raise an issue concerning a road from Yumbe town to a river called Ore, which is in the border with the Yumbe and Terego. In 2018, JICA, Japanese Agency for Development, gave 24.5 million USA dollars to work on that road, and it is 23.5 kilometers. Since 2018 up to now, government has never committed any counterpart funding to pay project affected persons. And this was a grant given in relation to a hosting of refugees. Madam Speaker, many times in Parliament, we apply for loans as a government, and some of these loans they even got from commercial institutions at a very high interest rate. But I'm wondering as to why government cannot take advantage of a grant that is to work on this road. When we had a meeting with JICA in June, they had said the money is depreciating. Instead of this money working on 23.5 kilometers due to depreciation, the current money can only work for, on 14 kilometers. So sometimes we also wonder about government decisions. Secondly, the road between you given by World Bank was given in 2020. Compensation started in 2021. This project should have started by January 2023. It is supposed to be a 3 years project, that is 36 months.
Thank you.
But due to contradictions of procurement, we lost 15 months.
Thank you.
When we had a meeting with the World Bank, Madam Speaker, the death of Apple. So as of now, we have lost almost 2 years. We are left with just 17 months to work on this road. But should the road not be completed within that project period, we are also worried that this same road will have a challenge. So we really need...
Right Honourable Speaker, the procedure matter is on the way we are proceeding in terms of day. When I stood here and raised a procedure issue requesting you to apportion time for each sub-region, especially when a matter concerns all the 4 sub-regions. You agreed that you would apportion that time. And yesterday, we spent a better part of our time discussing this report. You accorded nearly 30 members from West Nile alone to debate on infrastructure. And yet the committee report biased this House. The committee report actually misled this House to imagine that the report was for all the 4 sub-regions. The committee report the committee report should have been specific on West Nile. Madam Speaker, are we proceeding right to assume that we are handling all the 4 sub-regions when we are handling only 1?
Honorable,
are we proceeding right, Madam
we
Speaker?
are proceeding very, very well.
No, certainly
very
not.
Well.
Certainly not.
Honorable Nakut, we are doing very, very well. The fact that we have gotten a report from the Karamoja region, we are doing very well, and I will now ask the minister to give us a response to that.
Right Honorable Speaker and members, good morning. Right Honorable Speaker, my response is going to be fairly brief. It is not the kind of detailed response that I had come with yesterday. And I'm going to structure the response in the following manner, Madam Speaker. To indicate to members what I have done since yesterday, working with the clerk to Parliament, and what we intend to do with the comprehensive report so far given to us, and then the most urgent things that must be done now. And let me start with what we did yesterday. After capturing all the details that the honorable colleagues presented, I must confess that the report that I had come with necessitated tactical withdrawing. The details that the members raised, and knowing for sure that roads are enablers, my report would not have been very useful. Against that background, I consulted, Right Honorable Speaker, my senior colleagues, including those who chair cabinet. And I have been directed as follows: that work with the Hansard team, capture all the issues that the colleagues have raised, and bring them back to cabinet for us to guide you on what can be done now, what may have to be, we indicate to the colleagues what may be in a phased manner, and given the limited resources available, so that we include everything but indicate how we are going to intervene rationally without causing any excitement. So that's the directive I've been given by my senior colleagues. The second one was, your Right Honorable Speaker, that I indicate what has been done now on matters that brought emergency. For example, Karuma, I want to say that by the grace of God, Right Honorable Speaker, we did not witness a calamity in Karuma that could have befallen the country. By the time the engineers indicated to us how that bridge had failed, we just said it has been by the mercy of God that nothing very fatal had happened to the country, and hence the closure of Karuma and allowing only light vehicles to pass. I did hand over the bridge to China Railway 7 and NEC to do the rehabilitation. What is true, Right Honorable Speaker, is that for Karuma, the resources are available. Fortunately, Cabinet in its wisdom was kind to say that we could not wait, Right Honorable Speaker, but we could just get the resources that were available in the emergency fund, and 6.8 billion was quickly mobilized for the repair of Karuma Bridge. What, honorable colleagues, is being done in Karuma is that the structures that were holding the bridge underneath, most of them had given way. So it was just a question of time. And right now, the team that is working under the bridge. And sometimes when we pass on top with our light vehicles, we may not be able to see them. What is also true, and that's a fact, what is also true, Right Honorable Speaker, is that in the next few days, the team will now be working on the surface, and I was directed to prepare the honorable colleagues that I am going to announce the permanent closure to even the light vehicles for a few weeks, so that the surface of the road will also be done. Right Honorable Speaker, what's happening is we know for sure that this discussion, these pronouncements will inconvenience our people. But we have chosen security and safety of our lives and the property.
Chair Infrastructure wants to give you information.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. It is an African to contest a statement of an elder, but is the minister in order. At least when the committee visited, there was no working underground. So when did that start? Is the minister in order? Maybe they are working in air. I don't know. Not underground. Maybe.
Maybe they are using a drone.
Maybe.
Honorable Minister, the chairperson of infrastructure did not see the work being done. Honorable members, let's get the information, then you come up. Wait. They want to give you information.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to give information as pertains Karuma Bridge. Personally, I entered under the bridge. Work is ongoing. The bridge was designed and is sitting on six spires. And out of those systems supporting the bridge, 4 of them have given way. 4 of them have given way. We made assessment. The old deck, the deck is the construction where the vehicle passes. So the old deck is completely worn out with cracks. Underneath of the bridge, there is what we call a fluorescence. A fluorescence, those are white stubs, which indicates that the old steel components of the bridge, the reinforcements, have already given way. So we discovered that the team already constructed the platform. The platform which necessitates movement under the bridge. We entered under the bridge, 5 of us in the committee, me and my deputy chair. So they promised that after 2 weeks, they would permanently close the bridge. But before they could close, they had told us that they had taken sample and taken for testing. Which, yeah, these are technical things. So after now the test result, they said they would permanently close the bridge. But Madam Speaker, the issue is this. Before they permanently close the bridge, they should provide an alternative route. Because as I talk now, the alternative route, which is a Masiniport ferry, they had a very small ferry, Madam Speaker. And as I talk, even the trucks, if you go there right now, people are spending 5 days without being crossed. Animals are dying. So we are demanding for additional ferry at Masiniport. And also the other route from Zengebe through Molata should also be worked on. The other access from Nakasongola, the whole access road is completely submerged. So the road needs to be raised and worked on so that accessibility is.
Thank you.
Finally, Madam Speaker,
As they improve on the bridge, we are proposing that they also work on the approaches of the bridge at Karoma. Because as you enter from this side, the bridge is at the curve. As you enter from Nwayaya, there's a long curve. The other side also from Karoma, there's also a very long curve. So we are proposing that they should also widen the curve and provide pedestrian walkway. Because it's a risk. Our people are at risk. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, take that seriously. Linus, and I'm also told when they pass around the park, they are charged. Linus?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. The Minister earlier stated that he's soon to announce a permanent closure. However, in the project area where the dam has been constructed, there's an alternative bridge connecting the dam to Oyam. And the bridge acts as gates to release water levels on River Nile. So I'm requesting the Minister to engage Minister of Energy so that before closing or after closing the main Karuma Bridge, the Minister of Energy should allow smaller light vehicles to use that alternative bridge that is within the project area. Thank you.
Thank you. Minister? Honorable members, are we going to finish?
Thank you, Right
Yes,
Honorable.
PP.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for allowing me this opportunity once again. Madam Speaker, we have seen just in the past few days what I would term negligence from the government in Kitezi, where we have lost over 30 people in a situation that could have actually been addressed. And I call that one negligence of the highest order. And Madam Speaker, the minister is coming to pray to God that by the grace of God, no incident has ever happened in Karuma. By the grace of God. And this is a technical issue which the minister who holds the docket should have been able to be able to monitor. Madam Speaker, the procedural issue I'm raising is the minister proceeding rightly to continuously lament in a situation which he could actually be able to address? Is he proceeding rightly to lament?
Honorable members, the minister is saying we are going to have that bridge closed and we get alternative routes.
He should be arrested.
You withdraw your statement. Withdraw it. Withdraw. You're arresting him for what? Honorable PP, it is on record. Honorable PP Okini, what you've said was on microphone. I know it is a joke, but it was on a microphone.
I want to apologize for that statement because he's my very good friend. For that matter, Mr. Minister, I apologize and I withdraw the statement. But you also work very hard to make sure things are happening in the right direction. Thank you very much.
Honorable Minister, we really need to work on that. Let the Kitezi scenario not come to Karuma. And this one will be worse.
Right Honorable Speaker, like I indicated, and I am very happy that the Honorable colleague, who is a technical person, very professional, was able to confirm that work is ongoing. And that rules out even what the chair of the committee was putting me on order for. Right Honorable Speaker, the bridge is being worked on, and two things will be happening at the same time. While we salvage the life of the old bridge, we're also working around the clock to get a new bridge which is properly aligned, like the one we have done in Jinja, so that it will be, after a few years, release this old bridge from the kind of work, and we're working in that direction together with the JICA.
We need the timelines.
I will be in my report that is comprehensive. I will be indicating to you, Right Honorable Speaker and Parliament, when we are going to do what, at what time, and what we have done so far, particularly even in the new bridge in Karuma, because of the sensitive nature of that connectivity.
And Honorable Minister, when you're giving us your report, don't tell us we shall do. Tell us we are doing.
Thank you. The second one is Pakwach. Pakwach has a challenge that we have also identified, Right Honorable Speaker, that when we are doing the Tangi Road from Masindi, indeed the engineering tampered with the topography of that place, and for that reason, each time it rains, there is flooding around the bridge. That is compounded by the floating island. Right Honorable Speaker and members, as we talk, the teams that are doing drenching have already arrived in Pakwach. They arrived 2 days ago, but they started work seriously yesterday. And I don't want colleagues to think that this work was started because the issues were raised here. It was already something that we had intended to do, and it is being done to make sure that the flow, that floating island is removed, so that we prepare that the bridge doesn't give way. And that will happen with the rest of the region. Right Honorable Speaker, the last one is Nebi Arua. While we are working on permanent rehabilitation, we have also directed the company to do forward maintenance, and I want to assure my colleagues that we will do some forward maintenance so that Nebi Arua becomes motorable. Right now we acknowledge that's bad. But I want to assure this Parliament that a comprehensive report will be presented to Parliament so that we can capture all that has been captured, including issues of Karamoja. And I want to assure Madam Na will not leave out what you have raised as a region. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, we need an action taken on the roads. We need to improve on the water transport for us to be able to have an alternative route. And we need all the roads that we have given you to be handled. And honorable members, I now put a question that the report of the Sector Committee on Fiscal Infrastructure on the state of transport infrastructure, roads, bridges, railways, airfields, with amendments, all amendments, and addendum from Karamoja region, be adopted by this August House. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it. We will need a report from you in the House in 2 weeks' time on what has been done, where, and when. 2 weeks. Honorable members, we will suspend the House for 10 minutes for us to receive the President and get back. 10 minutes.
Kindly ask that you do not move too far because we expect His Excellency the President to arrive in a minute now. Just to give you a very quick picture, as soon as
buri munya-Uganda nayitinga amakuru marungi. UBC West ina amakuru marungi kandi agari kwesigwa. Rero za program zayo ziri omuri Nyakitara hamwe